What's up, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash. And did you know Netflix did comic books? You probably did. Some of you might not. Mark Millar, writer extraordinaire, did much of the Ultimate Universe and for Marvel before he broke out with his stardom and did his own comics. He's most famous probably for Kick-Ass and what's that movie, The Kingsman? Those are both based on his comics. He's got quite a other. That Wanted. They made a really crappy movie about Wanted, but he did the comic book for Wanted is awesome. Nemesis. He's got a bunch of stuff. Mark Millar is one of the best writers in comics, and he's creating an empire on comics. And he sold his company to Netflix. So basically, they now own it, and he is sort of like an employee / consultant. I don't know the full details, but he still does comics. He just doesn't have to now run a business. He gets to do the part that he likes. Netflix funds all the money. His stuff gets turned into TV and movie shows. It's a perfect blend. If I wasn't holding my phone, I'd applaud Mark Millar right now. I know it's Millar. It's really Mark Millar. I've been saying Mark Millar for so long. Just have to excuse me. So, this is his newest book, Prodigy, issue 1. I wish it was up here somewhere. Some trade dress. I know these are indie books, but come on. That's whatever. So, this had multiple, I think it's like 5 or 6 variant covers. The normal cover is just dude standing there, all boring. This cover was the only cool cover, I thought. Just like the Evel Knievel bike on fire, and he's flying, and he's like, oh, just type on my laptop here. No, nothing to do. Really evokes kind of what this character is all about. So, Ash, you say, what is this character all about? I'm glad you're here to find out. All right, first, need a drink. Wet the palate. Look at that. Coca-Cola always tastes better in a Star Wars Empire Strikes Back glass. Remember that, kids. All right, so here we have Prodigy, issue 1, Mark Millar, artist Ralph Albuquerque. There's the cover credits in case you care. So, we start off this story, and we've got a young kid who's just won a polo match. And so they're establishing that he's part of a rich aristocracy, right? Because it's the only people that play polo. Not water polo, the kind with horses. He's 11 years old. Here's his team. And they hate him because he's the MVP and everyone's celebrating him. And they're like 17, 18 years old. He's 11 and they think he's a little twerp. So you can see that on their faces, they feel embarrassed. And he comes in, he's a classy gentleman. So he comes in, gentlemen, congratulations on a spectacular cup victory, and a special thank you for allowing a precocious 11-year-old on the team this year. And they're just like, fuck you. Slam. Huh? What's the matter, Tinker? You little shit. You've humiliated us for the last time. So, one thing about Mark Millar's comics, and I'm going to say that, I'm going to mispronounce his name purposely because it's just hard going back and forth, and you know who I'm talking about. And there's so many other Millars in comics that I have this problem with, like Zack and Scott Snyder. Anyways, so if you're like, dude, Ash, get the name right, you know why. So Millar's comics are anything if not violent. He always has violence in there. Here's some 17, 18-year-old kids beating up on an 11-year-old. I think they might punch him a couple times. I don't see him. Maybe in England, this is where he grew up, and kids are more violent. I don't know. I just don't see that happening. So the whole premise of this character, as you probably guessed, this dude is a prodigy. And so you start this conversation, he's watching Bruce Lee flick, and it's like, why would they beat up one of their own side? Because they're SJWs. White privilege. This is what happens. No, I'm taking that a little too far, but come on, you thought it was funny if you're thinking along the same lines as me. Because I'm 6 years younger and I played them off the polo field. This fight was an exercise in repairing bruised egos. So this is his real friend. So what are you going to do? Get my revenge on Monday morning? I learn faster than anyone who's ever lived, and there's nothing I can't do when I put my mind to it. So he's watching martial arts videos, and it's like, by Monday morning, I won't just trounce him at polo. So next day, expedient story writing here, by the way, you're going to notice, like, Mark Millar does not waste time. You got everything you need to know. Next day, boom. Oh, hey, look who it is. Oh, did we miss a spot? And then Kung Fu Fury happens. And he's kicking ass. And then he's like, he tells him before, it's like, I'm going to get expelled for this, but it'll be worth it. And then now he's like, if anyone's looking for me, I'll be packing my things. And it's like, whoa, the kids are like, he just beat up some big high schoolers. Okay, so we move on. Then we find out in Vermont. Can I just say what a wonderful supper that was, Senator Crane? So Edison Crane is the boy. This is obviously his father. We're going around. So there's his dad, there's his mom. So he's got mixed heritage here. So he's half black. And they're talking about, oh, it's great that our boys have become friends, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, but there's this heart surgery next week. The other boy, and, he's getting worried about it. It's like, oh, okay. And then I go through the room and like, what the fuck? And here he is operating on his friend. So at this point, I had a little record needle scratch moment when I was reading. I was like, wait a second. Hold on. I get that this is a comic book, so we're doing comic book tropes, and this is like superpower type intelligence. Like, he learns anything. Okay. I will suspend my disbelief. Enough to believe that he can learn open heart surgery. Not that I think there's really enough documentation on it for him to just learn that. I think you have to learn something like this by doing under the eye of an actual surgeon who trains you. I don't think there's like books that just say, here's how to do open heart surgery. Now you try. But again, comic book world, suspension of disbelief. He's superpower intelligence. Okay. Look, this is a unsanitary room. Never mind where did you get all this medical equipment. If you know what you're doing, which I'm going to assume this kid, I'm suspending my disbelief that he knows what he's doing. He knows he shouldn't be doing this. This is unsanitary. Like, no. So that's the part I had a little problem with. Yeah. So you take that as you will. Parents like, what the, whoa, shit, and what's going on here? Just closing up your son's pericardium, and then I'm ready for the sternal wires. This is the trickiest part of the entire procedure, so I'd appreciate a little silence if you don't mind. Jesus Christ. Kids fucking, it's crazy. Like, don't worry, ma'am. I'll have him back on his feet in no time. So that just kind of like sets the scene of who this kid is. And now we fast forward to adult life. And here we see him playing multiple games of chess. But not just any multiple games of chess, as we'll soon find out. It's the Austrian World Chess Championship. And he's playing everyone at once. Again, to show how utterly amazing this guy is. That's all the point. And so we have different scientists, they're talking to him and they're saying things like, is it the chess games or the asteroid you're thinking about now, Professor Crane? It's been 20 minutes since you said anything, and we can't remember where we left things. Lincoln Labs, New Mexico? He's thinking. Quiet, please, I'm thinking. So he's talking about, I'm just going to fast forward through all this. There's an extinction level asteroid on its way. It's going to hit Earth in, I don't know, 17 years, they say? And he's got this plan. He's like, but don't worry, I got this whole plan that'll work it out. And he's having a little beautiful mind moment here. That's what it reminded me of. He's got this rocket, and he's going to have it diverted within 12 years. Okay. Again, more showing off just how super intelligent he is. And he's like, any idea the cost of this plan? Don't worry, this one's on me. And he puts his helmet on. You're like, what's going on? And here we have the scene from the cover. So he's going, now, if you excuse me, I've got some school children I made a promise to. And if you thought the book was kind of ridiculous already, Just wait. Dear Professor Crane, my classmates and I are excited about your big stunt challenge, and I just came up with a brilliant idea. How about jumping the Grand Canyon on a motorcycle without a parachute? Your body on fire and losing the bike halfway. P.S. Can I just say that we're big fans? So he's like doing it the whole time. And whoa, nice big full page spread. I did like this. Ditches the bike, flaming on fire. Kids are like, oh my God, bewildered, amazed, you know. And then I was like, what the fuck is this? This looks like some dude pissing fire into a bucket. I didn't get it, so I had to like flip back, and I was like, wait, what's going on? Oh, that must be this. And he must... This is really bad art here. Like, not just from a aesthetic viewpoint, but like, can you just try to draw ground here so we get reference that this is like on the ground? This isn't just some random bucket some dude's pissing in. Like, I get no sense. Oh man, this is bad visual storytelling here. And Albuquerque's a primetime artist. Anyways, so now we're getting some flashbacks with his mom talking about like ABC stands for always be curious, blah blah blah. And he rises out of the water. Huzzah! Look at me! I can do anything. And he's talking now to his assistant, and he's asking what's going on the plate, and she's giving him different things. People in the world are asking for his assistance, and then there's another stunt that the kids want him to do. And yeah, so at this point, there's something about, I forget, some materializations things. That's what piqued his interest, and he's like, tell him these materializations sound interesting. Tell him we're on our way. So he gets in his jet, and then we fast forward over to Alice Springs, Australia, 24 hours earlier. Dude walking down the street with this girl. Are you okay? I don't know. My chest, it feels like, and then, what the fuck is this? This is another example of the art. Just, I was like, I had to do double takes. Like, is he turning into a car? Did a car crash into him? Like, is this like, speeding car? No. Oh, he blew. There's a skull. He blew up. Did a car, was like a micro car that like blew, like grew, and I don't know what the hell's going on here. I can't make heads or tails of this. And then the next panel, I'm like, oh, wait, why is there a trail of these cars? And there's all these... I can't follow what's going on. Everybody back. Open up. In passenger seat, caged dead animal. What the... I can't make heads or tails of what I'm seeing. This is not good. After reading the book, I kind of understood. I was able to piece things together. But this is bad. Like, I should not... I've said this before. You should have mystery and the audience have questions like, ooh, what's happening here? This is a mystery to solve. But you shouldn't have confusion at what they're seeing. The audience should still be able to make heads or tails of what it is that they're seeing in a sensical fashion. They may not be able to, like, if you put like a UFO, they may not understand what the origin of that UFO is, or like if it's an alien, like, but they can process, oh hey, a UFO here, like they can. But if you're just like, this just doesn't, this is random photos. I don't understand. Pine Gap Military Base nearby. Mice. So yeah, they talk about this. Animals he's trying to put together. They arrived in these cars. And that's not all. There's something weirder. So they go to this. And these are spaceships. Again, it's hard to tell what you're looking at here. But the book kind of lets you know. So these are spaceships. Apparently they are like intertwined with each other, somehow warped into each other. They talk, were there any people on board? Yes, one each. But they're both dead. Here they are. And the organs are baked alive. It says, and they're human. And it's like, how can that be? And he's like, well, they aren't extraterrestrial, man. They've traveled here from a parallel Earth. And what we saw in those cages were their animal trials. These pilots, I suspect, are the first of many. All this means there's an invasion on the way. So, okay, smartest man in the game. He said an invasion. I guess there's an invasion. Singapore. So he's at his office. Apparently he's got drinks, looking out the window, having some memories about his dad. And his dad's just like all drunk. He's like, I'm grooming you for something important, and all you do is solve stupid mysteries. When are you going to grow up, Edison? When the world becomes less curious, Dad. Fling. Well, I refuse to throw good money after bad. Catch. That dollar is your entire inheritance. I'll turn it into $1 billion by the end of the year. So he's remembering, and then he sees, this is a weird transition. Standing here, remember, and then he's just bodies, like, why was he just standing? I don't know. So there's the person, and she's like, don't worry, I just tranquilized him. And she identifies herself as part of the CIA. She identifies that she knows about these invasions, but that people in the government are in on it. This is all big conspiracy going on, ancient prophecy hidden in the Kremlin library. He's like, are you interested in hearing more? And he's like, Roland, this is Professor Crane. Cancel my meetings for the rest of the week. And he's very curious. And that is the end. This is kind of like what the issue 1 looked like, except without the girl. If you just see a dude standing there looking all smug. That's why I didn't get that cover. And that's it. That is Prodigy #1 by Mark Millar. Pretty simplistic book. I don't know if this is an ongoing series or a miniseries. If it is a miniseries, he almost always does 6 issues. So there's a lot of story to tell. If it doesn't seem like much happened in this book, you're not alone. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think Mark was very efficient with the storytelling, got you up to speed real quick so that the next book we can really get into things. A lot of other writers might have taken the time to bog the story down with exposition, all sorts of background and stuff that we don't need right away. And we just have to know that he grew up super smart. We don't need to know what necessarily got his powers. That can be all explored later. Are there other superheroes? That can all be explored later. We just need to know enough about this guy being what he is, and there's something big going on, and we want to know more. So it's a solid first issue. In these day and age, it's not like I can say one comic really blows you away. So I can't be like, oh, this is a superstar thing. But I could see potentially 6 issues this being really cool. Especially if you've read other Mark Millar things. Like Nemesis was one of my favorites. Just how the stories unfold and how they get grander and grander. I liked what I read here enough to get the next issue. So that's my recommendation. Move the needle. It's a good, solid comic book adventure. I don't know what you really ask for more, really, except maybe better art from Albuquerque. But what are you going to do? $3.99 from Image. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.